That conversation came up with. There's a new rapper. They call him the Legendary Baller, right? And then he's kind of like Humpty, right? Like he has an alternate personality. You know the old guy that's like he's
the older dude.
Yeah, so I say, man, don't he sound like Fakeem?
Which would be more Fakeem's like poet side.
That's bugging me out because I can see that.
And I'm like, yo, this dude is. I mean, it's very artful, right? It's very put together, and he's killing it, right? But the gimmick is almost like, you know how Humpty put on the nose. You don't know, like you tell the guy grew up that maybe.
But he's really an elder though. He's really.
He's got to be in his 40s. He's got to be in his 40s. You know what I mean? Just the way.
In his 60s.
No. The persona is the 60s.
Okay.
It's an act. It's a toupee.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's an act.
Really?
It's an act. You know talking about Legendary Baller, right? If nigga don't rock with stuff like that. He can be beat out. I used to like Hammer and stuff back in the days.
Shame on you.
Why y'all be dissing Hammer, yo?
But I guess I shouldn't admit that. I was an MC Hammer fan as a little kid.
Why y'all dissing
Hammer? Hold on, y'all. MC Hammer's first album was hardcore. I don't know what y'all talking about, man.
Why?
His first album was Street.
Oh man, I see his face like, oh man.
Yo, look at his face right now. He's sick with me right now.
I know hip hop credibility, right? But just the fact is, I was like, why ain't this Hammer, yo?
I used to be the same way. That's why y'all dissing MC Hammer.
But I'll take MC Hammer. I already like him. But I take him more now than I would ever take what they're listening to right now.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because he had performance, he had lyrics, he had, you know what I mean? He still got it. But I would take that because it has showmanship.
Here's why I throw all that out though, what you said. Let me be an asshole.
Do it.
When all these pop rappers rapped back then, they wouldn't have succeeded though if they threw out the entire format.
Okay.
So they couldn't go pop if they threw away the entire format of the genre just yet.
So you're saying they still had to be street?
Right. No. The format of the genre. It had to rhyme. Think Vanilla Ice. It still has to rhyme. It still has to do this.
I get it.
They can't throw away and abuse the entire format though. So even commercializing of a genre, takes time. You know what I'm saying? It takes time to destroy a genre too. You know what I mean? If you look at other genres, it happens even slower. So, when you get like a jazz artist that do no improvising, Kenny G-ish shit, right? You hear a Kenny G song, it might sound nice though. That's not why they're dissing them. It's because there's zero improvisation. It's reinterpretations.
Okay, so
you know what I'm saying?
Remember a lot of jazz issues.
What I'm saying, yeah. So what I'm saying is that like back then, if you go in pop though, you can't just totally, let's say, do what they do now and just garble your lyrics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It has to actually rhyme because then it won't be palatable to that genre. So you can't even dilute it that much. So you can only dilute it in little bits though, That giant leap really happens to me in the 2000s though. Okay. It really happens in the 2000s though.
Cause I like Public Enemy, but then I like Hammer, and my dudes was like, Ronnie, just let me get the tape.
He's the guy at the beginning of the De La Soul's Dead album though, getting beat up.
Like Ronnie, let me get the station.
I was actually a kid with the Hammer tape and my cassette.
He could dance, but he could
His first album was hard, man. His first album before he went pop, he was hard.
Right, yeah.
He was hard.
But you know what?
But why do you think in Ice Cube's true to the game though? You was hardcore hip hop, but look at yourself, boy. You don't flip flop. Remember?
He was talking to Hammer, right? Because Hammer was straight.
What you talking about? Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I still like Hammer.
I mean, it turned his mother out. That was cool.
Shit was dope.
That was dumb, but
well, remember, we ate. Well, me anyway. I'm like 8, 9, 10. Right. I'm a young kid. So even like Eric B and Rakim, it's more like dance music. I'm not looking at the technicalities and I'm not listening. I'm like, oh, that dude's hot. I'm a youngin', right? I'm just about to cross the street by myself. So it was a little safer.
Listening to hip hop, I started it much later. Man, I was telling you, I started really listening in high school. So I didn't really listen at all before. So when Hammer came out though, pop was when I first heard of him. So all of these things embarrassed me because I was trying to show my parents and everybody else that this hip hop thing I'm listening to is actually profound. And then here comes this bozo with a fucking clown outfit doing silly ass dances.
It's the difference between like the feeling and the education of it, because
yeah, at a young age though, I always hated the coonery of music and arts.
So you didn't like Kane? Kane?
I didn't like Kane for the dancing. I didn't like any of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he gave a
the
feeling.
epitome of the imagery that was hip hop to me. The oldest imagery in my head was Rakim in I Ain't No Joke video.
The Flav dancing in the background.
Flav,
Yeah.
damn it!
Yeah.
Not Flav, Rakim. Rakim just standing there.
Yeah, that was it. But the
That's
Flav
it.
was
Him
like,
just standing there.
spit. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right. But the more stupid Flav got in the video,
Right.
the more
it took away from
the more that what Rakim doing was the way you do it, because I loved hip hop before that because of the b-boy and the toughness that we exuded.
Right.
So when you finish your shit, you stay.
Well,
you
Flav
stand
gave
and you did
a
everything.
little flavor.
Right.
Flav gave it
It
a
was-
little
I know
balance.
it's just Flav, though.
Totally
And they from
ignored
the
all
same
of that.
neighborhood. You guys
I
go in the
ignored
video.
all of that.
That shit was dope.
No, I didn't say it wasn't dope.
Oh, okay.
But when I was a kid, it had to be the tough stuff, nothing. That's why then just a few years later, I start really studying, and when Cypress Hill's Black Sunday comes out,
That was pretty good.
That's before
Oh my
36
God.
Chambers and everything, and lyrically, like the unity. There was other guys that were more lyrically hard, right? You had Ice-T and shit like that, right? Which I loved, but musically, I never heard anything that violently hard. I wanted everything to be like that. That was the epitome.
It kind of felt like
You know?
a lot of this stuff was how Run DMC added a little bit of rock to it.
Right.
Like they kind of took a little bit of that recipe with that album.
I hated the rock Aerosmith song too. As a
No,
kid.
you hate what about King of Rock?
I
I'm the
hated
king
all
of
their rock
rock.
versions because at home, that was pop rock. To me, it was pop rock, and that's what they're listening to. That's what my oldest sister might listen to. That's not the tough stuff. That's not it. You know what I mean? It was corny.
But I felt like it gave
I'm saying
something to
my
it, you know what I
limited
mean?
perceptions as a kid, though.
This is a limited perception.
Very
Okay.
limited perception,
Okay,
but
okay.
I was always very anti-pop, though. Very
Yeah, 'cause I
anti-pop.
can't say I was like anti-pop because I grew up with hearing those pop
too.
songs.
You know what? Everything was
Michael
pop.
Jackson.
No.
Everything.
But
the
I
80s and the
listen,
80s, everything's
in the
pop.
80s, it's a contradiction because in the 80s we was loving Michael Jackson, though.
Right.
But we was
Prince.
dissing Michael Jackson every time girls liked him. You know what I mean? We was little kids, you know? So it was always those things. He was so dope, but then it's like, you know, but he don't do it tough, and we'd always find excuses and stuff. You see people like Rakim, it's like, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
But how do you really separate?
I'm saying in my mind, these are the contradictions.
No, but I'm asking you
in my
now,
mind.
like in this day, like how do you separate pop from the actual art?
Oh, it's very easy now. Music that comes out now, most of it is terrible. There's no redeeming quality.
No, but pop is like popular, and you want to be popular to actually. This is where we
Yeah.
That's an ongoing discussion that we
I know.
have.
Day Son keeps saying that if they blow up, I hate them after they blow up. You know what I'm saying? But that's
your thing.
That's not true.
That's not true. Is it?
No.
Okay, so what artist has blown
I
up
want everybody to blow up. It's just that I
so
don't.
you can hate them?
I don't focus. I don't focus on that anymore. I'm Michael Landon. I'm Michael Landon in Highway to Heaven, though. If I write about you and you blow up, though, that's it. My deed is done, and now we can travel on and keep it moving.
If Mega did this.